So this is the shortage of all shortages, all right? This is something that could literally bring down the entire system. All right? A shortage of these items, and it's not even something you can buy. It's part of the infrastructure of the United States and the world, all right? This is critical to every country on earth, every state, every county, every neighborhood, all right, needs this item, and it's in severe shortage, all right? And the waiting times are up to 18 months, up to 24 months to get these, and it's only getting worse. It went from 3 months to 18 to 24 months, all right? This is massive. This could be devastating for the whole world. So what we're talking about here is transformers, all right? And then not the movie, all right? Not the movie, guys. Transformers for the electrical grid, all right? They are critical. They bring the power down to a level that is acceptable for your house, all right, and for your electronics, because the power in the line is so powerful that it needs a transformer, and we need tons of these, okay? And they've stocked up for Florida, so they've essentially exhausted their entire supply. They're going to exhaust it for rebuilding Florida, okay? Not to mention South Carolina, North Carolina now, parts of Georgia as well, okay? But they are exhausting their entire supply in Florida, and they're saying it'll take up to 18 to 24 months to replenish their supply. That's how long it takes for an order of transformers to get in now. And transformer manufacturers all over the world have been canceling orders in mass quantities. And the reason this is happening, because it takes a very special kind of steel and wiring to conduct this electricity and to essentially transform it into a acceptable form of energy for your house, okay? And there's tons of regulations, and it's very regulated, all right? It's a very high powered tool, machine, whatever it's called, whatever you call it. It's a very high tech, high powered thing that every single neighborhood, country, state, everything needs on planet Earth that has an electrical grid. They all need transformers, okay? So if something else happens, if there's another major emergency, they were pretty much warning that there's no transformers left. That's why this could be the shortage of all shortages, because once there's no electricity to keep the energy going, how do you even build the transformers? This is the problem that they're having in Europe. This is why there's shortages, because steel plants, steel factories are all experiencing very high elevated costs to operate, all right? So it's making the cost of steel very expensive, but it's also making it almost impossible for some of them to make money. Steel plants in Europe are deciding to shut down their operations, and this isn't a light thing to do, because it takes about 6 months for them to start back up, to get the heat, to get the right temperature, because the temperatures are so high, to smelt and smith all the stuff, you know what I mean? Smelting this metal, it takes a very high temperature to do this, and it takes up to 6 months for them to regain this temperature after they shut off the equipment. So this is huge. This is massive that we are experiencing such shortages. It used to take 3 months to get this in 2018, 2019. Before all this stuff happened, it was 3 months to get an order of new transformers. Now it's 18 to 24 months. And I think it said only one factory in all of the United States produces this special kind of steel that is needed for the transformers. So this is definitely looking like another just kink in the chain, right? How much more can we take? It's one thing to have one shortage All right, one thing is out of stock. That's one thing, but this is huge. This is our entire energy infrastructure. And it's just like car shortages and truck shortages. It takes trucks to make trucks. It takes electricity to make transformers. So if there's electricity shortages and less available because these disasters, then it's going to be harder just to make them even more, and then it'll turn into 36 months to get them. Okay. And it was saying that all these countries around the world are implementing new energy projects as well, like implementing solar, implementing repairing their grid. A lot of countries are industrializing around the world. They're installing grids for the first time, and there's an extreme strain on transformers. All right, let me know if you work on the power lines or anything like that. I have someone in my family that did that for years. They're retired now, but they worked on the power lines for 40 years up in New York. So let me know if you guys do any of that, if you have any inside knowledge on this. Are you having trouble getting transformers? Is this real? Because I'm seeing multiple mainstream news articles coming out and saying this is a huge problem. Just from the last few months, it's been building up, and now with the hurricane, they're saying, all right, this is going to exhaust our stockpile of transformers, and we don't know when we're going to get any more. Hopefully there's not a major disaster. Hopefully there's not some kind of winter grid collapse like we had. Okay, so get prepared now, guys. Get generators now. There's a place called Murdoch's. All right, it's kind of like Tractor Supply or Ace Hardware or Rural King. It's in that lane. And they had a ton of generators there, actually. I was surprised. I was just looking at them, checking them out. They had a ton of inverter generators. Closed frame inverter generators are very quiet, right? So check those out. They're really not that much. You don't have to have a massive thing. You just want to be able to charge your phone, maybe keep your fridge on, be able to operate life-saving devices, have a light on, maybe cook something. It'll give you a lot of creature comfort to have electricity if the power's out. Look at these people in all these states, millions of people with no power. Millions of people. All right, you do not want to be in that situation. It is not fun. And they're saying parts of Florida, it might take months, might take 6 months to rebuild the grid. All right, rebuild the infrastructure in certain areas to be completely back to where it was. People might get their lights on maybe in a month or two in some areas. Some areas it's really bad, but to completely fix the grid and get it to where it was, they're saying at least 6 months, bare minimum. But the good thing is they were prepared. That's why you should be prepared too. They literally had stockpiles of power poles and transformers and power lines just stocked up waiting for this, but they've exhausted their stockpile, so it's going to take a while. This is what happens in emergencies. You use up your 6-month food ration, and then what? That's why having skills like growing your own food, homesteading, all this stuff, all right, is critical for long-term survival. So stock up, guys. Get a little generator if you can. I have an inverter, but it's an open frame inverter, so it's a little bit cheaper. It's not closed off, but you pretty much need to have an inverter generator. You do not want just it's a lot of dirty electricity. It's literally a different kind of electricity. It's a different kind of wave that it's not good for your electronics. It can damage them. You don't want to plug your phone straight into just a normal generator, your computer, your fridge, all that stuff. It's really just for like out in the field using like power tools or something like that. That's really what it's for. That can just take high volts, high jolts of electricity. That's what it's for, things like that. So get prepared, guys. They were prepared for this hurricane, thankfully, and it's still going to be months, but it would have been even worse. But let me know, do you work in the power industry? what's going on with these transformers. This could be like the big one. All right, if another catastrophe hits, there's a blizzard in Texas, there's another hurricane somewhere, and it wipes out millions of people's power again, this could be a big problem. They could be out of power for a year. Okay, and they've done studies on North Korean EMPs that wipe the power out in North America, and they've predicted that 90% of people would not make it within the first year. All right, this was a congressional report. I know that's a lot, but congressional report said a North Korean EMP wiping the power out would knock out 90% of people. Right, so let's not get in that scenario. Let's hope this doesn't happen. Let's hope the supply chain, I don't know, can get back on its feet, but it really doesn't look like it. But let's hope this transformer thing, let's hope there's no more hurricanes or anything like that, because that could really tip us over the edge for our electric grid. So let me know what you guys think. Stay prepared and have a blessed day, guys. Thank you.